jump out. I'll clean this up. Hello. Seems to me if you stick the blade of the saw just off the right hand side as you walk along it, you get stuck under the tree. No, you successfully clean it up. Took me ages to figure that one out. Oh. 7, 8-ish. Southeast. Well, I'm not sure where you are, so I'm not sure. We are north of most of the states in America. Not all of them. Northern Illinois. Yeah, I would be in Michigan. Okay, let's pick that up. And we can clean it up when we get it to the sell point. Assuming I can pick it up. There we go. Oh, that's the edge of the map. So we're actually mid-south of Michigan. I did clean out the tree. I chopped it up. Yes, so we can just jump in the tractor and pick up all the bits of wood. Alrighty. Yeah, weather was saying we were supposed to get a storm, but we just got a lot of wind. Well, that didn't work out too well. Huh. Like you said, sometimes this fork has a problem, but not nearly as often as most of the others. Oh, engage reverse and grab. Looks a bit better. Swing that around into there and drop it. Looks good. I used to do that when I was learning to fly. There are some very interesting storms out there. I remember we were watching one. I lived in California at the time, and on the weather computer we were learning about weather. Or at least my instructor was teaching me about weather. There's a huge storm over the Carolinas. So it was, you know, the conversation sort of revolved around that's going to be horrible to take off and land in. But at least if you're coming out from Texas and heading north, you'll be able to fly over it. And he pointed at it and he said, no, ceiling on that storm's 70,000 feet. You know, commercial planes only go up to about 35, so they're going to be either well in it or taking a detour. Yes. When you get storms that big, you're kind of stuck. Okay. There's a lot of sticks around here. Beginning to wonder if I missed some earlier from an earlier tree. But around where we live, weather gets very weird. We tend to get fairly mild winters. But all around us, you know, they can get tons of snow and we just get nothing. I think we're just close enough to Lake Michigan that it can cause interesting results when it comes to weather. Although that said, we still do get some very bad winters. I'm hearing rumour that this year is supposed to be one of them. Nice to have this house sold before winter comes, so that we're somewhere where snow gets cleared off the roads as opposed to we get to pay our extortionate neighbour. Who charges over the odds as a favour to his neighbours. Okay. Let's see if I can... Come on. That was never going to work. Okay, let's try that again. That looks a little bit better. Okay, and it's 5:30, farm time. Drop, thank you. piece of wood there. I'm not being able to see things now. Okay, 2 bits over here. And I think 1 bit there. Okay. Oh, there it is. Do it. And come on. Oh, that didn't do it. Okay. Okay, let's get this to the sell point as quickly as we can before we drop it. Try not to... Ah, you suck. Okay. Try that again. And again, quick run towards the spell point. Try not to hit anything on the way. Should be over the back here. Oops. Oh, just down there. Ah, stop. Gotcha. Okay, forwards. Never actually tried using a skid steer in all my playtime in Farm Sim. Just recently started using telehandlers. But I tend to find most of the time something like this is a lot more useful, because it doesn't cost as much money as buying another piece of machinery with an engine in it. Okay, last piece should be... oh, right behind us. Okay. I've even avoided telehandlers so much that, or no, telehandlers, skid steers so much that Lawfolds actually came with one, and I sold it as one of the first pieces of equipment I didn't want. Although I was rather brutal on that playthrough because I was playing it on seasons. You end up with somewhere in the region of about £500,000 worth of equipment to start with, and 10 fields, and obviously £10,000, so not enough money to get the farm started, since you start with all the fields empty and needing ploughing and needing cultivated and stuff like that. You really need to here we go, another 13,000 275, nice. Okay, it's coming on 6 game time, so we'll call that a day. So when you start out on seasons, you kind of want to start with the least amount of equipment you can get away with. So 1, maybe 2 tractors. Save your money until fall, just in case anything untoward happens before you buy a harvester. And then, the bare minimum of equipment as you need it. Okay, how's the tractor look? We're relatively clean. We can put this away as is. So I leased the spreader to lime all the fields. I leased the plough to plough all the fields, on the premise I'm not going to need a plough ever again unless I decide to do corn. And I'm not going to need a spreader for another 3 years unless I buy more fields. So I bought a sprayer because I thought you're probably going to end up you're going to have to fertilize all the fields, and you may have to weed them as well. So being able to spread herbicide, it costs money, but it's one piece of equipment rather than 2. The weight I have is a variable weight, so I can take it into the workshop and add or remove weights from it. Oops, dropped. Oops, don't do that. Tractor's a good size. I mean, this is 175 horsepower T6. We could have probably have got away with something smaller, but I kind of decided not to. We've got ourselves a good size cultivator going forward, so we can cultivate the fields. And on one of the fields I did spread, I did plant oilseed radish as a fertilizer at the beginning of spring, and then put soybeans into the field at the end of spring, so it already had a free level of fertilization, but need the cultivator for that. Because our seeders don't cultivate. So, there we go. We'll put that back in there. Turn the engine off. But the other thing I know about this map is it's quite steep in places, so having the greater horsepower of the T6 over something like a T5 or sort of a 130 horse tractor is probably a wise move. Anyway, it is 6:15. Let us review. We have made a lot of money today, 56,000 euros. That kind of makes me happy. Equipment, New Holland is down to 71%, so still not desperately low. Said we have stuff to sell, but the peak prices for these is expected to be midwinter, so not going to sell those. A couple of weeds here. Oh, we have weeds on the grass field. We may be able to spray the grass field tomorrow to get that fully fertilized, We're on what today? We are on day 4 midsummer, so it'll be day 5 late summer tomorrow. So we might be able to spray that field. Might buy some herbicide and spray the entire field with it and see if that counts as a level of fertilizer, because that's something I've had rumour on that that happens. We have no animals. They're still basically doing fertilizing, baling jobs. We could do the transport jobs. Yeah, still a lot of fertilizing jobs out there, and they'll be going on for most of the summer now. Let's review. I believe these are sheep, so Dorset coming down in price. Beginning of fall is when they hit bottom. They're all trending the same way. Let's go walk over to here. See what it says about sheeps. Jump. Okay. A large breed of sheep that grows moderately fast, has modest wool production and requires a medium amount of feed as an adult. Relatively prolific and good for 25 to 40 kilos. Lambs, okay. Next one is a medium breed. Wool production, it grows slowly, is not very prolific, but it doesn't require a lot of feed as an adult, so good for wool. Suffolk, large breed of sheep, grows extremely fast, produces modest amount of wool, requires a lot of feed as an adult, is prolific, slow maturing, modest amount of wool. Okay, and the Dorper, medium-sized breed that grows fast, produces no wool, fast maturing. So that's your meat animal. The Merino is wool production. Dorset has modest wool production, and the Suffolk produces a modest amount of wool production. You can't tell the difference between 3 of them. Okay. So we've lost the black sheeps and we've lost the brown sheeps, and we have white sheeps or white sheeps with black faces. But as I said, best time to buy them is in a couple of days' time, I think. Yes. Yeah. So we're on day 4, 2, 2, 3. So in about 3-4 days is the time to buy sheep if we want to buy them. Good to know. Nice truck. So we've also got a bale trailer, tipper, and I believe our collection wagon is in here, which I went with rather than a baler. But for now, I honestly don't know what my jobs are for tomorrow. We'll have to wait and see how things happen. I'm going to speed up time. We've got to get to about 8 o'clock before we can sleep the night. Take it up to 8 o'clock and then we'll check the store prices for harvesters. And eat some candy. I honestly don't know. I mean, obviously, normally I would use a small baler. The Osa family farm, we're using round bales. We're doing hay. We're doing hay to feed the cows, and everything else is silage. And we're selling the silage because it's a good money maker. But on this particular farm, we don't have much in the way of shed storage. I'm going to have to find somewhere to put my harvester. So I've got that shed there. I think this is supposed to be a bale storage thing, but I'm also not sure if any of these buildings actually it doesn't matter because this map isn't currently seasons prepared. But that's the pig yard. There's my let's try that. So 15 hours to go. 15 hours to go. That means we sleep the night. So about 10 hours. But this silo allows me to store loose hay, grass and straw. So I made the decision when starting this playthrough that we weren't going to bale anything, because we could store grass products in the farm silos. Now I don't know how realistic that is, but since this farm, this map allows it, I'm going to take advantage of that. So that's why I'm using a pickup wagon. You know, it's kind of a choice thing. Do you buy a baler and bale handling equipment? I've got a flatbed trailer, so I could pick up bales and stick it on the back and haul them in. Or do I buy a pickup wagon? And frankly, I'll buy the pickup wagon for this map. Now, if these silos were not capable of holding straw or hay, I wouldn't have bothered. I'd have baled it. But given the limited, as I said, given the limited storage capacity of this yard, and yeah, you buy your harvester, and potentially other equipment, you're running out of space to put bales. So anyway, plus I haven't even started looking at using the silage pits over here. We have one there and two at the top. Two at the top, yeah, two at the top here. Oh, two at the back. So they both enter from the back. No ramp here. But yeah, I'd probably be, next round of grass I take off that front field will probably be silage. I'll just collect it and yeah, because I don't know. I know US, you'd usually, farm this sort of size, you would probably buy one of these. And then I've seen a farm using one of these with a with something like this, and so they put the silage into this thing, which I believe, or the chaff into that, which I believe that is eligible, and then they'll drive up with a small truck. Oh, slow down time. There we go. And take that to the silage pits. So I don't know of anybody who actually uses a pickup wagon. So, get closer. Okay, it's 10 o'clock at night. 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's go 7. Oh, and it's raining. It's still raining. Ah, well. Nope, not the chainsaw. 4 hours to go. Okay. They're all probably the same, so sometime after lunch we can sell our silage bales. That'll be good. Sold at the barn, and the barn is at the abattoir. Right there. So yeah, we can sell those at lunchtime today and make more money. In the meantime, probably going to try and fertilize that field. I think we've probably got enough fertilizer in because this is a tiny field. And then we'll have to investigate the jobs which may regen between now and then. What do I want to look at? Oh. Growth is fine. To get back onto grass. Check that. That is hard to tell. I never was very good at these colours. Oh, and there's oh, those are grass fields, so yeah. Still a lot of fertilising contracts and a bunch of baling. Okay, well, we're going to call it for now. Thank you for watching. I will be back if I feel up to it tomorrow, and we may take a look at Mercury Farm, which I haven't played for ages. Ah, yes. Something like, ooh, let me see if this supports it. Let's try that again. Oh yes, something like that. Yes, that is the UK currency symbol. You can reproduce it by pressing the Alt key, and on your numeric keypad type 156, and then let go of the Alt key. Since I haven't had access to a UK keyboard and I frequently have to type that symbol, I had to learn where to find it. So, anyway, as I said, we'll call it a night here. I'll be back tomorrow, potentially, with Mercury Farms. But in the meantime, everybody have a good time, and I'm out of here.